There comes a moment in every human life when the world seems determined to test every belief we hold about ourselves. It may arrive quietly through disappointment, or violently through betrayal, loss, humiliation, failure, or uncertainty. Most people spend their lives trying to escape these moments, believing that peace can only exist once every problem has disappeared. Yet the Stoics understood something astonishing. They knew that the strongest person is not the one who avoids storms, but the one who learns to stand so firmly within himself that no storm can shake his foundation. Imagine possessing a mind that remains calm while everyone around you falls into panic. Imagine hearing criticism without becoming defensive, receiving praise without becoming arrogant, facing loss without losing yourself, and walking through uncertainty with the same steady confidence you would possess on your happiest day. This is not emotional numbness. It is not the absence of feeling. It is mastery over feeling. It is the extraordinary freedom that emerges when your peace no longer depends on circumstances beyond your control. The ancient Stoics did not promise a life free from hardship. In fact, they expected hardship. They believed suffering became unbearable only when people insisted that reality should have been different. Every complaint against life was, in some sense, an argument against reality itself. Reality always wins that argument. This is why the Stoic mindset remains as powerful today as it was 2,000 years ago. Human technology has changed beyond recognition, but human nature has hardly changed at all. We still fear rejection. We still crave approval. We still become anxious over uncertain futures. We still allow strangers' opinions to determine our self-worth. We still exhaust ourselves chasing things that disappear the moment we obtain them. The Stoics recognized this endless cycle and offered a radical alternative. Instead of trying to control the world, control yourself. Instead of demanding certainty from life, become certain of your own character. Instead of searching for security in possessions, relationships, status, or reputation, build a fortress within your own mind that cannot be invaded. This begins with one simple distinction, perhaps the most powerful idea ever produced by philosophy. There are things you control, and there are things you do not. At first, this sounds almost too obvious to deserve attention. But consider how differently most people actually live. They worry endlessly about how others perceive them. They replay conversations they cannot change. They obsess over economic conditions, politics, social media opinions, aging, luck, and events that exist entirely outside their influence. Their emotional energy leaks away into countless battles they were never capable of winning. Meanwhile, the one battlefield where victory is always possible remains neglected: their own judgment, their own discipline, their own reactions. The Stoics argued that your thoughts, your choices, your intentions, and your actions belong entirely to you. Everything else belongs to fate. Notice how liberating this becomes. If another person insults you, their words belong to them. Your interpretation belongs to you. If someone betrays your trust, their character belongs to them. Your response belongs to you. If fortune grants you success, gratitude belongs to you. Pride does not have to. If fortune takes everything away tomorrow, your integrity can still remain untouched. Most people unknowingly surrender their emotional lives to forces they cannot influence. They become prisoners of circumstances because they have mistaken external events for internal truths. The Stoic refuses this. Surrender. He understands that no event possesses meaning until the mind assigns meaning to it. A difficult conversation is not suffering until your judgment labels it unbearable. Failure is not destruction until your identity becomes attached to the outcome. Embarrassment is not fatal until your self-worth depends upon public opinion. This realization changes everything, because it transfers power away from the world and places it back into your own hands. Consider the life of Marcus Aurelius. He ruled one of history's greatest empires while enduring plague, devastating wars, political conspiracies, personal grief, and constant pressure beyond anything most people will ever experience. Yet the thoughts he recorded in his private journal reveal a man continually reminding himself that external events possessed no authority over his inner character. He never wrote as though life owed him comfort. He reminded himself each morning that difficult people would appear. He expected misunderstanding. He expected setbacks. Because he expected them, they rarely surprised him. Expectation transforms experience. The person who believes life should always be fair experiences every injustice as a personal attack. The person who understands that adversity belongs to existence meets difficulty with preparation instead of outrage. This difference appears small, but it creates entirely different lives. One life is spent complaining, the other is spent adapting. One life waits endlessly for favorable circumstances. The other creates strength regardless of circumstances. The Stoics knew that resilience is not built during peaceful seasons. It is forged inside resistance itself. Iron becomes stronger through fire. The body grows stronger by overcoming resistance. The mind follows the same law. Every challenge contains hidden instruction. If your pride does not prevent you from seeing it, ask yourself honestly, when have you grown the most? Was it during periods when everything unfolded exactly as planned? Or was it during seasons when disappointment forced you to become wiser, stronger, and more disciplined than you had ever imagined? Almost everyone discovers that their greatest transformation emerged from experiences they initially wished to avoid. This is why the Stoics embraced what later became known as amor fati, the love of fate. Notice, they did not merely tolerate adversity. They did not simply survive it. They sought to love it because they recognized that every obstacle arrived carrying the possibility of transformation. Imagine two people losing the same opportunity. The first curses his luck, blames others, and spends years replaying the injustice. The second grieves honestly, learns carefully, adjusts wisely, and becomes more capable than before. Both encountered identical events. Only one emerged stronger. Life did not determine the outcome. Character did. The world constantly encourage you to chase comfort. Yet comfort often becomes the greatest enemy of strength. Comfort whispers that tomorrow will always provide another chance. Comfort tells you discipline can wait. Comfort insists that discomfort itself is evidence something is wrong, but nature teaches the opposite. Every meaningful achievement requires voluntary discomfort. Every deep relationship requires sacrifice. Every worthy goal demands patience. Every lasting virtue grows through repeated acts of self-control. The Stoics understood that freedom is often disguised as discipline. Consider the musician practicing scales while others seek entertainment. Consider the athlete rising before sunrise while others continue sleeping. Consider the scholar reading difficult books while others chase endless distraction. From the outside, discipline appears restrictive. From the inside, discipline creates extraordinary freedom. The disciplined individual eventually becomes free from impulses that dominate everyone else. He is no longer enslaved by laziness because effort has become natural. He is no longer controlled by temporary pleasure because purpose has become stronger than craving. He no longer fears discomfort because discomfort has become familiar. This is genuine power, not power over other people, power over yourself. Stoics believed this represented the highest form of victory because anyone can dominate another through force, wealth, or intimidation. Very few can consistently govern their own thoughts. This is why silence became such an important discipline. Modern culture celebrates constant visibility. It encourages endless announcements, opinions, arguments, explanations, and performances. Every achievement must be displayed. Every intention must be shared. Every emotion must be broadcast. Yet, the Stoics recognize that unnecessary speech often weakens both action and character. When you constantly explain your plans, you receive the emotional reward before completing the work. When you endlessly defend yourself against critics, you allow them to dictate your attention. When you argue with every accusation, you quietly admit that your peace depends upon convincing strangers. Silence interrupts this pattern. Silence preserves energy. Silence protects concentration. Silence allows your actions to become your strongest argument. There is immense strength in becoming difficult to provoke. Imagine someone desperately trying to insult you. They expect anger. They expect excuses. They expect retaliation. Instead, they encounter composure. Their words fall into empty space because your self-respect never depended upon their approval. This confuses people more than any clever response ever could. The Stoics frequently observe that emotional reactions reveal hidden attachments. If criticism instantly wounds you, perhaps your identity depends too heavily upon reputation. If praise intoxicates you, perhaps your confidence depends too heavily upon admiration. If rejection destroys you, perhaps your happiness has become dependent upon acceptance. The goal is not emotional suppression. The goal is emotional independence. Your value should not rise and fall according to changing public opinion. Think carefully about how unpredictable human judgment truly is. History is filled with individuals who were mocked before being celebrated. Others were celebrated before being forgotten. Crowds are notoriously inconsistent. They applaud today what they condemned yesterday. They condemn today what they may admire tomorrow. Why surrender your peace to something so unstable? The Stoic instead asks a different question each evening. Not, did everyone approve of me, but did I live according to my principles? This question cannot be stolen from you. No critic can answer it on your behalf. No audience can manipulate it. Only your conscience knows the truth. This creates remarkable stability because your standard remains internal rather than external. You no longer need universal agreement before acting courageously. You no longer require applause before doing what is right. You become capable of standing alone when necessary because truth matters more than popularity. This inner stability gradually transforms every aspect of life. Conflict loses much of its emotional grip because your identity no longer depends upon winning arguments. Failure becomes educational rather than humiliating because mistakes no longer define your worth. Success becomes enjoyable without becoming addictive because achievement no longer determines who you are. Even uncertainty becomes less frightening because your confidence rests upon your ability to respond rather than your ability to predict. Most anxiety comes from attempting to control futures that have not yet arrived. The Stoic returns repeatedly to the present moment because this is the only place where choice actually exists. Tomorrow cannot be controlled. Yesterday cannot be changed. Only this moment offers the opportunity to think wisely, speak honestly, and act virtuously. Each present decision quietly shapes the future far more effectively than endless worry ever could. The mind becomes unbreakable, not because life becomes easier, but because it finally stops demanding that life conform to its preferences. It learns instead to meet reality exactly as it is, transforming every setback into instruction, every hardship into training, and every uncertainty into an invitation to practice wisdom. The person who masters this way of living discovers a truth that most people spend their entire lives overlooking. Nothing outside you possesses the authority to break your spirit unless you first hand it the keys to your own mind. Asterisk. If you truly wish to master the Stoic mindset that nothing can break, then you must understand one final paradox. The greatest battles you will ever fight are invisible. They will not take place in crowded arenas, dramatic confrontations, or moments that history remembers. They will happen quietly, often when no one is watching. They will occur in the small decisions that seem insignificant in the moment, but gradually shape the person you become. Every morning, life presents you with a choice. You can allow your emotions to dictate your actions, or you can allow your principles to govern your emotions. Most people unknowingly choose the first path. They wait to feel motivated before they work. They wait to feel confident before they act. They wait to feel fearless before they pursue what matters. As a result, they become servants of feelings that constantly change. The Stoics reversed this relationship. They understood that feelings are unreliable guides, but disciplined action has the remarkable ability to reshape feelings over time. You do not become courageous. Before acting courageously, you become courageous, because you repeatedly choose courage. Despite fear, you do not become patient before practicing. Patience lets you become patient by enduring frustration. Without surrendering to it, you do not become resilient, because life becomes gentle. You become resilient because life refuses to become gentle, and you decide to grow stronger instead. This is why the Stoics emphasized daily practice over occasional inspiration. Inspiration is exciting, but it fades quickly. Discipline appears ordinary, yet it quietly transforms everything. Imagine two people who each dream of becoming extraordinary. The first spends years consuming motivational speeches, imagining success, talking endlessly about future plans, and waiting for the perfect opportunity. The second simply begins. Every day, regardless of mood, regardless of recognition, regardless of immediate results, that person performs the work. Months pass, years pass. The difference becomes impossible to ignore. The first possesses endless intentions. The second possesses undeniable character. Character is built exactly this way, not through dramatic declarations, but through repeated choices that align with your highest values. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself that the quality of life depends upon the quality of thoughts allowed into the mind. Modern psychology increasingly confirms what the Stoics recognized centuries ago. Repeated patterns of attention gradually become repeated patterns of identity. Whatever you feed your mind each day becomes the architecture of your future character. If your attention constantly rests upon outrage, comparison, envy, and resentment, those emotions slowly become your permanent companions. If your attention repeatedly returns to gratitude, responsibility, discipline, and wisdom, those qualities begin shaping every decision you make. Your mind is like a garden. It never remains empty if you neglect it. Weeds grow naturally if you cultivate it carefully. Strength replaces chaos. This is why the Stoics guarded their attention so fiercely. They understood that distraction is rarely harmless. Every unnecessary argument steals concentration. Every meaningless comparison steals contentment. Every hour spent obsessing over another person's life is an hour stolen from improving your own. Ask yourself an uncomfortable question. How much of your mental energy is invested in things that have absolutely no ability to improve your character? How many hours disappear scrolling through lives that are carefully edited to provoke comparison? How often do you replay insults spoken by people whose judgment you do not even respect? How frequently do you imagine disasters that never arrive? Each of these habits weakens the mind, not because the events themselves are powerful, but because attention is powerful. Where attention goes, life follows. The Stoics practiced withdrawing attention from what weakened them and directing it toward what strengthened them. This required saying no far more often than saying yes. No to pointless conflict. No to unnecessary pleasures that eventually become addictions. No to endless entertainment that leaves the soul empty. No to the desperate pursuit of validation. Every meaningful yes is protected by countless quiet refusals. This brings us to another principle that separates the mentally strong from the mentally fragile. The Stoics never confused movement with progress. Modern society often rewards busyness rather than effectiveness. People fill every hour with activity, believing constant motion guarantees meaningful advancement. Yet, a person may remain busy for years while moving nowhere that truly matters. The Stoic asks a different question. Is this action bringing me closer to becoming wiser, more disciplined, more just, more courageous? If the answer is no, activity itself loses much of its value. Your time is the only resource that can never be recovered. Money lost can often be earned again. Reputation damage can sometimes be rebuilt. Health weakened may improve through effort, but an hour that disappears never returns. Perhaps this explains why the philosopher Seneca wrote so passionately about time. He argued that people protect their possessions more carefully than they protect their days. They hesitate to lend money, yet freely surrender years to distraction, worry, and meaningless pursuits. The Stoic refuses to waste life this way. He understands that death gives urgency to every decision. This is not a depressing realization. It is profoundly liberating. When you remember that life is finite, trivial concerns begin losing their grip. Petty arguments suddenly seem unimportant. Temporary embarrassment becomes insignificant. The fear of appearing imperfect starts dissolving. You become less interested in impressing strangers and more interested in living honestly. Mortality simplifies priorities. The Stoics practiced reflecting upon death, not because they were obsessed with endings, but because they wanted to become fully awake to the present. A person who remembers life's limits appreciates ordinary moments with extraordinary clarity. A conversation becomes more meaningful. A sunrise becomes more beautiful. Acts of kindness become more urgent. Love becomes more intentional. Nothing is postponed under the illusion of endless tomorrows. This perspective also transforms suffering. When pain arrives, it no longer appears as an interruption of life. It becomes part of life itself. Every generation has faced uncertainty. Every civilization has experienced crisis. Every individual eventually encounters grief. The question has never been whether hardship will arrive. The only meaningful question is who you become when it does. Anyone can remain calm while circumstances are favorable. The true measure of character appears when comfort disappears. Can you remain honest when dishonesty offers immediate reward? Can you remain compassionate when bitterness feels justified? Can you remain disciplined when excuses seem reasonable? Can you remain patient while progress appears invisible? These moments define you far more than public success ever will. The Stoics believed that virtue possesses extraordinary compounding power. 1. Disciplined decision makes the next disciplined decision easier. 1 courageous act makes future courage more accessible. 1 honest conversation strengthens future honesty. Likewise, every compromise quietly trains the mind to compromise again. Every excuse makes the next excuse more believable. Every surrender to impulse increases the power of impulse. Whether you realize it or not, you are always practicing something. The only question is whether you are practicing weakness or strength. There is another lesson hidden within Stoicism that modern culture desperately needs. Not every battle deserves your participation. Some arguments exist only to consume your peace. Some people provoke others because conflict gives them purpose. Some criticisms reveal more about the critic than the person being criticized. The Stoic develops the wisdom to distinguish between necessary confrontation and unnecessary reaction. Imagine carrying a burning coal every time someone insults you. You believe throwing it back will satisfy your anger. Yet, until you throw it, your own hand is the one being burned. Resentment functions exactly this way. The person who harmed you may have forgotten the incident years ago. Meanwhile, you continue carrying the emotional weight every day. Forgiveness, from a Stoic perspective, is not declaring injustice acceptable. It is refusing to let another person's actions continue governing your inner life. You release resentment because your peace is too valuable to surrender indefinitely. This requires immense courage. Many people believe revenge demonstrates strength. The Stoics believed mastery over revenge demonstrated far greater strength. Anyone can react. Few can consciously choose restraint. Few can remain kind without becoming weak. Few can remain firm without becoming cruel. This balance defines genuine wisdom. As your Stoic practice deepens, you notice something remarkable. External victories become less intoxicating because internal victories become infinitely more satisfying. Receiving praise no longer excites you as much as keeping your integrity under pressure. Winning arguments becomes less important than preserving your composure. Accumulating possessions becomes less meaningful than accumulating wisdom. Your definition of success quietly changes. Success is no longer measured by applause. It is measured by alignment. Did your actions reflect your principles? Did you remain faithful to your values even when compromise appeared easier? Did you choose courage over comfort? Did you govern your own mind rather than allowing circumstances to govern it? If the answer is yes, then no external failure can truly defeat you. Eventually, people begin noticing something different about you, not because you announce your philosophy. Not because you seek admiration, but because calmness becomes visible while others panic. You think while others argue. You observe while others chase attention. You quietly improve while others become consumed by setbacks. You begin asking what the setback can teach. This quiet consistency possesses extraordinary influence. People trust those who remain steady during uncertainty. They respect those who cannot be manipulated by praise or fear. They remember those whose actions consistently match their words. Without realizing it, you become an example rather than merely someone with opinions. And perhaps this is the deepest lesson Stoicism offers. You cannot control whether history remembers your name. You cannot control whether others fully understand your intentions. You cannot control fortune, recognition, popularity, or circumstance, but you can control the kind of human being you become. That choice belongs entirely to you. Every sunrise renews it. Every challenge strengthens it. Every disappointment refines it. Every temptation tests it. The unbreakable mind is not created in a single moment of enlightenment. It is built through thousands of quiet decisions made when no audience is watching. It is forged each time you refuse to betray your principles for temporary comfort. It grows stronger each time you transform an obstacle into an opportunity, criticism into composure, uncertainty into preparation, and suffering into wisdom. One day, you will look back and realize that the events you once feared most became the very experiences that shaped your greatest strength. The betrayals taught discernment. The failures taught humility. The loneliness taught self-reliance. The uncertainty taught faith in your own character. The hardships you begged life to remove became the tools life used to build the person you were always capable of becoming. So, when the next challenge arrives, and it will, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask instead, "What part of my character is this moment inviting me to strengthen?" That single question has the power to transform every obstacle into a teacher. Master your thoughts. Before attempting to master the world, guard your character more carefully than your reputation. Protect your peace more fiercely than your pride. Choose discipline over impulse, wisdom over noise, purpose over comfort, and virtue over applause. For the person who conquers the self has already achieved a victory that no circumstance, number critic, no failure, and no passage of time can ever take away. That is the Stoic mindset, and that is the kind of strength that nothing can break.